Now we're late, look at that.
Thank you.
All right, welcome. This is the Warren Board of Selectmen on Thursday, January 15th, 2026 at 4 p.m. We are going live through Facebook, I believe. And if anybody's recording, please let us know. If you're going to address the board, give us your name and who you represent. WCAT 12. All right, we're going to do the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to have a moment of silence. Stan Solstice recently passed. He was a longtime resident and a community volunteer. If we just take a moment. We saw Stan a lot in our early career.
Stan's a good man.
Not as much lately. All right. First off, acknowledgement of the resignation of Police Officer Patrick Gillespie, effective February 1st.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good evening. I received a letter from Officer Gillespie and from the chief regarding Officer Gillespie resigning effective February 1st. We wish him well. I know that he was a great asset for the department, and we're hopeful that he'll be sticking around for possibly some part-time work.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Great. We wish him well.
Yeah.
He, just real quick on Pat. Pat did over 20 years in the Army. He did go to Iraq a few times. So with his military time and police time, he's able to retire. And he's looking to open his own business. So in retirement. So, but like Mr. Ferrara said, he's willing to stay part-time, which would be great because in his turn, just soon after he leaves, he's going to be training one of the other guys with all the court stuff and doing evidence room audit. So,
Okay.
probably at another meeting we'll come forward with the another part-time. I don't think we can do today. Right?
No, right.
Yeah. All right, great. Number 2, discussion with a possible vote to appoint Mr. Ian N. Curtis as a full-time police officer and review a request from the police chief to start said appointment at a step 5, $31 an hour on the patrolman's wage scale.
Right. So today I bring in front of you Mr. Ian Curtis. I did write up this little letter here that I'll read for you. Ian Curtis has approximately 6 years of municipal policing experience, starting his career in 2019 in the town of Palmer, from the area of Hinsdale, Palmer, and now Brimfield. Ian is also a sergeant with the Springfield College Police Department, where he would supervise up to 6 guys on a shift. Ian holds an associate's degree in criminal justice and is currently in the process of obtaining a bachelor's degree in public safety administration. Ian's police experience is not the only thing that he would be bringing to the department. His trainings and instructor certifications are outstanding and will bring a lot to the department with his proven skills. Ian is part of the CIT team, which is the Crisis Intervention Team. CIT improves the response to mental health crises aimed at de-escalating situations, connect individual with services, and improve safety for all involved, which we currently do not have anyone on that. And there is a huge rise in mental health that we're dealing with. He has served as an animal control officer. He has also been a triad officer, which focuses on preventing crime against older adults through education, outreach and programs. He's a child passenger safety seat technician and completed A-RIDE or Advanced Roadside Impairment Detection and Enforcement. He was also a recipient of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Outstanding OUI Enforcement Award. Ian has numerous narcotics training during his time as an investigator at Palmer PD. These include street-level narcotics, drug hides, roadside drug investigation, and beyond buys and busts. Also, go along with his investigation, he is also trained in interviewing techniques. Ian is an MPTC field training officer and MPTC handgun rifle instructor. He is, which with losing Officer Gillespie, we are losing our handgun rifle instructor. He is also certified through MPTC as a first responder instructor and a CPR AED instructor. First responder and CPR AED are required yearly trainings that we can now be taught in-house instead of spending money to hire an outside instructor. He can also teach these two classes for all town employees, school, and at the MPTC academies. Ian has been through alert training. Alert is advanced law enforcement rapid response training program, provides the national standard in active shooter and active attack response training for first responders. The training is designed to prepare officers to isolate, distract, and neutralize active threats as quickly as possible to stabilize. With that, he is also an alert civilian response to active shooter instructor, which teaches people to avoid the shooter, deny them access by barricading, and if necessary, defend themselves. This training provides practical guidance, covers medical issues like bleeding control, and helps individual format a survival plan for active shooter situations. This is a training that we will now be able to offer to all our town employees. For supervisor training, he holds frontline leadership as well as tactical communication leadership. He holds the FBI's LEAD trilogy, which is amazing. I don't even know that. Law Enforcement Executive Development Association, which is a 3-part leadership training program for law enforcement assisting the Supervisor Leadership Institute, Command Leadership Institute, and Executive Leadership Institute, designed to develop essential skills in diversity, strategic planning, wellness, and emotional intelligence. As we all know, police hiring and retention has been a major issue for the police departments due to several factors, including the negative public perception, the emotional strain, demands of the job, retirement, and competition from better paying departments. Last open slot took over 9 months to fill, which causes understaffing, officer burnout, and reduced services. Hiring an already certified and well-trained officer drastically reduces training time and financial burden on the town. It also gives us an immediate value. Officer Curtis will be replacing Officer Gillespie as step 4. The cost difference is only a few $100, which will be saved by not needing to overtime, cover shifts, and training. So I just figured that I'd write that up so it kind of justify what I'm asking for and a document for it. I think that was easier than me just standing up here saying what classes he has and people not knowing what those really mean.
Yeah. So how does his training compare to anybody else currently?
We have no one that's CPR instructor, no one, like I said, the CIT training, which is the mental health stuff. We have no one for that. He's got a lot more trainings than most of the people that we have, I would say, right? So that was ahead of everyone that we have currently.
And if I can pick on you, Ian, can you tell us a little bit about your education? You seem to have, so you have a bachelor's and associates.
Sure. So I have an associate's degree in criminal justice, and I am 1 class away from a bachelor's in public safety administration. So it'll be done next couple months.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes, first of all, welcome. Got a great team here. We're looking to keep it that way. Your resume is very impressive. I like the alert training. Trained in those techniques also. And I believe fully in that program. I'm surprised you have it though. I didn't think that was a criminal justice training.
That's the new thing the state's pushing out, and I was aware. No one here has it right now.
It's pretty good. I'll give you that, and it gets you thinking out of the box. It's more tactically sound, yeah. If you're going to be teaching that course here, you guys got some good training coming ahead of you then, because it ain't no joke, and especially being an instructor on that. Did you go to Texas?
No.
You didn't go to...
So MPTC rolled out a whole bunch of trainings for alert, and we were lucky enough they were holding right in Holyoke at the academy.
Okay, because they're Texas guys.
They'll come out, yes. Yeah, there were several Texas
So-
guys.
And they're all guys that have lived it.
Absolutely.
They definitely are guys that know what they're talking about. So very impressive on the training. You're doing good. You're definitely stepping above and beyond. It would be great to have you on the team, and you have a lot of training that I'm looking at that is definitely going to benefit the town in a strong way. And with that said, I hope if you do get voted in, I can't say for sure because it's 3 of us, but I hope if you do get voted in, that you stick around for a very long time to show your dedication to us too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are looking for longevity, so.
Yes.
Yes, please.
I can feel the excitement from the police chief and how good he speaks about you. And I hope you like it here, and I think that you're going to be a good element on the police. And I thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All right, anything else? Discussion and stuff.
I think this step is warranted with the experience, and I think the chief has laid it out very effectively to merit that step. With the amount of training and experience, it would save the town money over the years, having to train people or send people away to get that training. It's gonna cost the town even more. So I feel it's definitely justified in this case.
I looked at another officer we hired at a step 5, and I think Ian has more, better education, more training. The other candidate that we hired had probably better experience as a police officer, but I think Ian he's got strengths in the training and his education.
Well, it shows confidence in his leaders too, that they sent him to a lot of these courses, because a lot of these courses are, I'll tell you right now, they're not a joke in any way. They're courses that like you send your best guys to that you know are gonna do a good job
Yeah.
and represent well. And instructor courses right off the bat, you send your best guys to those courses to be able to carry on and pass that experience and that knowledge on to others.
Yeah. Derek?
I understand the step system and how we are, concerned our budget and everything, but, leaving that aside, if it was for me and to see all the good job that these guys do for us to keep us safe, I'll give it a step 25 if it was possible. It is what it is. We're a community, but we're very, we really appreciate, Chief bringing such a good, people to the town and to keep us safe. So I think step 5 is, it's not enough, but it's okay for now.
Somebody want to make a motion for 7?
It would be my honor. Just get to it.
Yeah, just grab that agenda item if you want.
All right. So I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Ian N. Curtis as a full-time police officer and to start him as a step 5 on the patrolman's wage scale. And we don't have it for a period,
1-year term.
for a 1-year term.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Great to have you. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And you gotta set them up with Dawn and get them sworn in.
Yep.
There's a list of stuff that he's gotta provide to Dawn. Do you have a copy of that?
Don't, if you can send it to me. I know you have a copy.
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Yeah, and then I'll get it over to you. All right, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Congratulations.
you all. Have a good night.
All right, discussion with a possible vote to appoint Tammy M. Martin to the position of town accountant and to ratify said employment agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. As we progress here, we have a vacancy on as our town accountant. We had set up an interview panel of 3 people, myself, the chair, Mr. Ihacker, and Don Swistak, our treasurer. We had originally set up for 3 interviews, 2 show, and, you know, 2 very good candidates showed, and it just resonated with the committee that Tammy, being the former accountant, and has experience in the field for a few years in the town of Warren. She has the more qualifications for the position. And the board had negotiated a contract in good faith with Ms. Martin, and is before you this evening to publicly appoint and ratify.
Well approved it,
So
so,
you wanna introduce yourself?
yeah, sure, you wanna introduce yourself?
Yes,
Reintroduce.
I'm Tammy Martin, and I'm excited to come back and be the town accountant for Warren.
Excellent. Any questions?
Oh, yeah, I have like 800 right now.
Okay, start.
No.
All right.
So let me get the list out. All right. No. Again, welcome back, Tammy.
Thank you.
You know you left Warren for a little while and explored, spread your wings for a little bit, and seen what the rest of the world is like, and now you're back here with us, and that just shows that, you know, you have confidence in the town here, and you love what you're doing here, and, you know, it makes me very proud to have you back, and, you know, even though you left to see what the rest of the world's like, you come back and say, hey, this is where I wanna be.
The
And
grass is greener.
the grass is greener.
That's right. That's right.
And, you know, thank you very much, and it's great to have you back.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Anything?
I was so sad when you left. I'm so happy that you're back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to have you back, Tammy.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
All right.
So I'll make a motion. Are you guys good then?
Yeah?
You're good.
All right, let's make it official here. I'll make a motion to appoint Tammy N. Martin to the position of town accountant and to ratify the employment agreement. Is it for 1 year?
3 years.
For a 3-year term.
There's a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Welcome aboard. Officially.
There's a couple things.
We just
yet.
have some paperwork to sign.
Discussion with a possible vote to enter into a contract with Tecton Architects for the purpose of conducting a building assessment at 968 Main Street, which is the former Cornerstone Bank building.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So as you may recall, we, at the special town meeting, there was 2 articles on, for appropriation, for assessments to be done at 968 Main Street in Warren, which is the former Cornerstone Bank building. That appropriation was to conduct a study, a building assessment study, as to converting that building into a modern-day police station. You know, what's the feasibility of that? What's the potential costs of that? What type of condition the building is currently in? Does the building, would it meet the space needed to house, you know, the police station? And so we have been working with Tecton Architects on our study for the feasibility study for a public safety complex. They are intimately knowledgeable of what the town needs are. They are familiar with the department. They are familiar with the town itself. They've given several public presentations to the town. You know, if the town is going to move forward at some stage of the game in a designer selection process, that process will be a competitive process. we will follow the designer selection law, and we will go through the necessary procurement required of that. We do not have and landed on a specific site at this moment for a police station. We don't know if it's going to be a new construction. We don't know if it's going to be a remodel of a building. We don't know if it could potentially be a public safety complex. We don't know that. There's a lot of unknowns. And so this is an assessment that is needed and that the townspeople supported at the last special town meeting. This assessment will answer a lot of questions that were brought up in the discussion of a public safety complex, and will hopefully give the board and the town guidance as to what direction it should move in. This assessment, in my opinion, needs to be done by a architect or an engineer that is qualified, that has the experience in working in public safety realm. There's plenty of architects and engineers out there, but these people specialize in public safety buildings, okay? There was a discussion about having this go out to a competitive process. It is of my opinion that a 30B exemption would be warranted, and that is the route that I would choose to justify the awarding of this contract. Under 30B, the services of an architect or engineer are exempt from the competitive process. So I would use that exemption, but with the notion that once we do have a clear path of what direction we're going to be going, we will have a competitive designer selection program put in place where there will be a formal bidding process.
Right, okay. Right. It's interesting that we allocated 60, right?
Right.
And this, they come in like 55.
Yes, they did, but, I purposely added a little bit of a contingency there in case there was some
Yeah, we may ask.
change orders.
Some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's good. Okay. You have any questions?
I do. Does this identify any hazardous materials that may be contained in the building, such as asbestos, mold, anything like that, where they have to identify it?
They do not do any type of in-depth evaluation in terms of any environmental aspects of that. If there is stuff that can be seen and that they know from experience, that's mold, that's asbestos, they will note it in the report. But there's not going to be
Lead
any.
paint, all that stuff?
There's not going to be any testing or environmental that does not cover any costs associated with that.
Yeah, this is not like the deep dive. This is
Right.
like,
Well, I just
General.
want people to be informed, because
Correct.
that will dramatically add to any costs
Yes.
if anything, because you have to have the building abated before you can do any work to it. You have to have asbestos removed, encapsulated, you have to have lead paint abated, mold has to be, taken care of, and, make sure it doesn't come back. So there's a lot of stuff that you gotta do that would affect the cost, and that becomes substantial costs when you're dealing with a building. It'd be nice to have that information, or at least effectively identify that these things, if it's not there, this is what it costs. If it is there,
yeah,
this is what it's gonna cost.
yeah.
There's built into the fee some public presentations that will be made once the report is finalized. I envision that we would have a similar situation where Tech Time would come out, make some public presentations to the public as well as to the Board of Selectmen directly. And they're going to be working with the department heads. This has been sent to the police chief and to the fire chief for their review as well. and they were comfortable with
So-
the scope of services.
So my next question also is, did Mr. Fountain give you the $50,000 that he said he was gonna give you to the study?
No, that's, he's taking it off the sale price.
So what if we decide not to pay that, we just wasted $60,000 or $54,000?
Yes, that is.
So we wasted $54,000 of the town's money. Because I think that's being misrepresented, because that's only if we buy his building, we get that money.
Yeah, he's selling it for $550.
But if we don't buy the building,
We would
we
buy it
just-
for $500. Well, I mean, that's,
We just wasted $55,000.
I mean,
Well-
that was argued on the floor at the special
I know,
town
I
meeting,
know.
so, and the voters voted to do this.
It's
So-
my understanding that the bank building is currently not on the market. So, I mean, if the town was to, you know, after all of these studies, and if the town wanted to move in that direction, then we would have to enter into some type of negotiations,
Yeah.
you know.
He
and
also
I don't
said he
know
would
what the
go
price
to-
would be.
But the 500 is a starting point. He also said he
Well,
would be
he
open
only
to
paid
negotiate.
$275 for the building, so.
Well, so
it's-
then we can
it's-
negotiate. We have
yeah.
room to, maybe we, you know, we do 450. I don't know. We come to some agreement.
$275.
Well, I mean, we can start there.
We could have gotten the building for free.
I know.
And I just want people to know we could have gotten that building for free, but we turned it down. Or it was
we
taken
didn't
from
turn
us.
it
We didn't turn it down, it was taken from us.
When would they be able to start and roughly how long will it go?
So, upon signing of the contract, Jeff and the team would start soon, and he would anticipate that this could be 3 or 4 months.
Okay. Questions?
And I have a lot of questions. And the questions are on, at the end of the day, what are they gonna tell us? Is it yes, we can do it at this cost? Or is it a definitely no, we cannot fit the program of the police station?
They're gonna give us some options. You know, they're gonna tell you, you know, they're gonna do a conceptual design, what, you know, space needs, you know, for that building, and putting the programming needs into that building. They're going to do an assessment of the building to determine, you know, what needs upgrades the building needs to make it a modern day police station. And then they're gonna give you an estimated cost of what that would be, you know, to do those upgrades to the building. So they're gonna, you know, spell it out and give you all that information.
What does it mean when they say our structural mechanical engineer consultant will also review the building during the field work exercise and will prepare an additional service fee proposal to study of reuse of the former Cornerstone building?
So they're gonna tell you what the cost would be for the building.
So they're not gonna charge us additional service fee?
No.
Because it looks like they're gonna go there, do existing conditions, then they're gonna try to get our police station program, which is all the areas that they need, make it fit into this building.
Yes.
It could be that they don't fit, what's gonna happen now?
Well, they're gonna tell us that.
And then it stops there?
No, they're gonna let you know, hey, look at, you know, these are the challenges to the building. So, you know, maybe you don't have, you know, maybe you have a smaller training room, maybe you have smaller offices. You know, they're going to let the public know, and you guys know, what it's gonna look like. You know, what are some of the challenges, if there are any, on space. What are the challenges with the building? Does the is the roof need to be repaired? Is there you know, what type of condition the heating system's in? You know, they're gonna look at, you know, the walls, you know, the masonry, all of that stuff, the windows. You know, they're gonna look at all of that. If they could put a sally port in, you know, how does that work? You know.
So I think it's kind of a double-edged sword, because like, if they find a lot of significant stuff in there, and they open that can of worms, is that something Mr. Fountain's gonna want to have with his building? Because he owns that building and it's gonna have, say, structural issues.
So, when I toured the building, he and I talked about just that problem, and that's his risk.
Because if they
Yeah.
find something and.
This will be a public document, and
Yeah.
if it doesn't work for us, and he tries to sell it to, some future person
Cause they
or
can use
business,
that.
then they can say, well, we want a copy of that, or they can come to the town and get it, and we
Okay.
definitely talked about that, so that's,
Okay, as long as he understands that risk,
yeah, he does.
because,
At the end, on the fee proposal, line by line, they have a presentation of graphics. Does this include all existing conditions of the building, all the drawings and files,
Well, I think I don't know, that's, to me, that says, that's the person putting together like the PowerPoint slides, going and taking photographs.
That's why I'm asking if, what are we getting from this? Because, as for the previous project, I still waiting for, because the CAD file, all the drawings, they're just giving us graphics, and graphics, if we, let's say this doesn't fly, and in 3 years we revisit this, the next person who comes in is not gonna be able to just grab the graphics and do it. You're gonna need, we pay for something, we need that value in the
Yes.
plans.
So the presentation, it explains right here. I mean, it's purely for right, to communicate the design ideas and document any noted development challenges.
Yes,
So I
but
think,
they're gonna develop existing conditions, floor plans, and these are documents, these are files in CAD, in Revit, in all this architectural specific software. We don't have that yet.
I don't think they're going that
We're,
far.
we're,
I think
we're,
it's conceptual.
we're gonna, we have the layout files for the programming aspect. But a lot of that stuff, the final CAD work would be in the designer selection phase of this project, and we're not there yet.
But I see that is this essence of the study. I mean, I'm gonna take my hat off and put over there as an architect. That's the first that I'm gonna start doing. So I can see if everything fits and everything works. We, as a client, we wanna have that. We own it because they're doing it for us. And it is a lot of value for, as the town, to own that, not just little drawings or posters, because there's nothing we can do with that.
Yeah.
all right, so do you want to come up with a list of questions and you can submit them to?
I
To
just
check down?
would like to have, yes, I could, but my
Because we're not
main,
going to solve it now.
yeah, the
your
main
question.
idea is, we have all the documents that they generate doing the design.
I guess we have to ask. I mean, I would suggest then we table this.
The design part of it, it's not really the design, it's just what he's saying it could be. It's not like,
Yeah,
if I'm right.
Yeah, we're not
This isn't the actual build, like,
We're not in the design phase.
we have to hire
Right.
an architect later on that's gonna, even though the public safety complex ones, that's not an actual design that he's
Yes,
gonna
I
put forward.
understand.
It's,
But,
there's
you
no,
know, see
there's
those,
no other
the
CAD.
posters that they gave us, those 3 posters,
Right, that's just him drawing a,
that's what we want, that's the value of the study.
so I guess he is gonna do that conceptual part of it for this project.
Yes.
What I don't want is just to be graphics, I wanna have the files.
It's okay, I mean, we can,
You know,
So
it's-
we can get the files, that's no
Yeah.
problem.
yeah, I don't think there's any, we pay for it. I don't think, we could get the files from the current study.
Can I ask a question? Was it $60,000 approved at the meeting?
Yes.
So why don't we consider this? If the building doesn't work out, or you guys can't use it, how about we have Mr. Fountain reimburse the money?
Doesn't work that way. I don't think we can.
Why not?
All right, let's get, yeah,
Doesn't that make sense?
You can't bill something for something that
yeah,
the town has voted to approve to do and allocate money for.
Yeah.
It's the risk that the town decided to take. Our job is to make sure that it's clear to the town the risk that they are taking, or not taking. It may work out really well. I hope it does. I really do, because we know we need to get the police out of their building. Just like the fire department, eventually we're gonna have to do something for them too. We all agree to that, which is how we do it. But we can't go back and bill somebody for something that the town voted for, because they know, even though he put his hand up and said, I'll give you this money, but as we clarified today, we don't get that money unless we're buying that building.
But Dave,
He said he would discount it $50,000.
Okay, we're not gonna,
Yeah.
we're gonna stick to this agreement right here.
Yeah, with the respect of the public and the board, I asked us to concentrate on the contract, because that's
Yeah.
the line over there.
Yeah,
So I wanna get most of our money here. The study, you can't just leave images, like, it's hard to say graphics. That's not value for the town at the end of the day, if this project doesn't do it, and we don't have those documents.
okay, so I'm gonna suggest we table this, and then maybe you can get together with Jim, and maybe it's just a phone call.
Yeah,
Let's call Jeff, right, and get some clarification as to what you're looking for and what they're gonna provide.
Sure.
Because we can't answer these questions here.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, we don't have him here to say, what are you providing, or you know,
Right.
whatever, or,
Right.
you know, are we getting
And
these
like I
files?
said, we have, I think he's provided us the digital version of the file for the last
So the
study.
last, yeah.
And again, that's just the space assessment and where things are gonna be laid out. It's kind of like more of a layout. It is not a designer, drawing, where a CAD would, really design everything and sit down there for endless hours and place things. This is just like really layout.
No, they do have that. To get those graphics that they call, they need that. And that's the one I'm looking for, that's where the value is. As a former architect, I can tell you that the value is in that document. On a graphic, just make copies, but those files are the value of this money. That if nothing happens now, if we wanna re-look at this, you go to those files and say, you three new people, look at this. Because those files is where the value is.
All right, so can we agree to table this?
Yes.
And so we'll put it on the next meeting. So, okay, so let's table this, and let's move to the next agenda item, and I'm gonna ask you right away if you're gonna want the same things from the next study. Because if you do, then we should just table that to the next meeting too.
But I also want the board to know that this project will take a little bit longer now.
No, that's, but Derek has
I'm just setting the
questions.
expectations.
Yeah, right, but Derek wants to make sure that we get our $55,000 worth, right? The town voted to do a study, let's make sure we get what we need for our money. And that's, so if we wait 2 weeks or whatever, I'm good with that.
So one thing I'd like to see in here is how in-depth they are gonna go into environmental factors. Say, again, it's an old building. All old buildings, have some level of asbestos, mercury from thermostats, or heating devices, lead, mold, anything else. How far are they gonna go into it? I can look at that wall and say, there's no asbestos there because I don't see it. But when you pull down the sheetrock from it and you realize, okay, all the insulation in the back of it is asbestos now. And that you didn't note before, and that you don't see. Because that's one of the problems we had with the Old Town Hall, is they noted, hey, there's some problems here, it's gonna cost you a significant amount of money, but if we find any of this stuff, it could dramatically increase the price because they're not poking in walls, they're not jabbing in, they're not looking in things. If they might find a hairline crack from the whole face of the building that they didn't see until they started gutting it out and looking at it. And those are the risks you have, and it's like, okay, that point, it goes into significant amounts of money. And you go from a $5 million project to an $8 million project because of something that just got found.
Right.
You know, and I just want to make sure everybody is informed of what's being seen and what's being clear, because I don't want the public to turn around and say, why didn't you guys do this study? Why didn't you look at this? Well, that's not the scope of their work.
All right, so you added that to the list, right?
So I just want to, if I may, comment on that. On the question at the special town meeting, it was clear that it said that the environmental was not part of this.
Right,
And the environmental would cost double, if not triple, the price.
yeah,
So they will do some visual environmental, meaning that they will comment on, oh yes, that, you know, that is probably asbestos. Oh yes, you know, that's probably lead paint. They'll comment on that. They're not doing any environmental in-depth analysis here.
So with my challenge to that is, Rich says it's asbestos, I say it's not. Okay, we're at an impasse. Well, prove it's asbestos, buy my building,
no.
and then you can test it.
I think if those things come up, then the next thing would be to maybe do
The
some
town,
testing.
the town has to dump all that money into another study to evaluate it, which is significantly enough more. And now we got all that money into this, increased all that money into testing.
But this,
As a taxpayer, I believe
Yes, but I just want people to understand,
we all
this is
understand.
definitely can go,
that. We all understood
get
at the
very
town
expensive.
meeting, and
but the
still-
town may not wanna pay for it either. We put that, let's say it's another, well, whatever, X number of dollars to do a more in-depth environmental, and we present that in May or June, and they say no, or they say yes. I mean, but at least they make the decision, and we know what the cost is gonna be of that kind of assessment. You know,
And Mr. Chairman, let the architect, the engineers, the experts tell us, you guys, if you wanna continue to do this, you have to do X, Y, and Z. If we need for money for that, we ask the town for money. But we
Yeah.
can let them tell us what do we need to make that happen. Because that's from an architect to an architect, I'm gonna ask you, so can we do this? That's the only thing I want. Yes, no. Next question, how much is it gonna cost? And then we got our equation. Then, if it doesn't fly, what do we get? Oh, he said yes, but it's expensive. That's not enough. We need the work that they did, all the, the existing condition drawings, all those files. It's like if an accountant takes all the account numbers on Excel and does a lot of formulas and everything, and then she prints it out and give it to me. Oh, that's nice. But without that file, this is nothing, because that file has all the power and the qualities to pass it over to another accountant. Hey, keep doing this work.
all right, so I'm gonna, like I said, can we table this till the next meeting? And I'm gonna suggest we not even look at the next one, because it's the similar, there's presentation graphics, there's, conceptual design. So I would say, ask the same questions, because it's in its expansion of an existing building, it's gonna have the same issues potentially, although it's a little different, because you're adding new to existing as opposed to taking existing and trying to make it work. But still, the same questions will come
It's
up,
easier,
right?
3 things. Can we do it? How much is it gonna cost? And then, can we have all the data?
Okay.
Can I
Alright,
ask
so-
Derek? I'm sorry. Derek, you're talking about value, right? So we talking about the same value we got for spending $350,000 to study the Wrights building? Are you talking along those lines?
I'm not following you.
That didn't cost us any money.
It cost the taxpayers money, Dave. Are we talking about the same values that we got out of this study for the Wrights building for $350,000?
I don't know that that's comparable.
No, you can't, this is what I'm
It's a
saying.
it's a different analysis because we're not looking to renovate, we're not renovating Wrights Mills. We were looking for how we can support businesses at Wrights Mills.
Right.
Very
From
different,
the
like,
study, right.
yeah,
I
it's
think
like,
that's
is our
what that
fire
is.
department up to snuff, our roads up to snuff?
But isn't that
Sewer.
kind of saying the same thing for this building?
No, this is, because this is looking at, like, what is,
Alright.
you know, what's the building sort of made of, and can we form it into a police station?
What we did voted for? Can we do it there? Yes or no? If yes, how much? And then we need all the data that supports that, which is, if they did it in AutoCAD, we need the AutoCAD files. If they did it on Revit, we need the Revit files. Why? Because if we own that, whoever will want to do next, hey, can you build this? Yeah, but we're gonna have to do existing conditions. No, we already have it. Oh, you have the CAD files? Yes. Oh, that's gonna save you money.
Okay.
Otherwise, somebody else comes to do the study of the design, and they're gonna charge us to do the plans.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on.
There's value in those. Yes. no
We're
problem.
good with tabling vote? And we'll talk about it next meeting. And we have
29.
some more
Yeah.
answers, yeah, okay. Okay, so that's number 5, tabled. Number 6, first review, notice of sale / conversion of use, first right of refusal pursuant to MGL, Chapter 61, Section 8, 1212 Southbridge Road, Warren, Massachusetts. The owner is Stormfield Capital Funding 1, LLC.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the board, before you is a first right of a refusal for property located on Southbridge Road, 1212 Southbridge Road. It is my understanding from talking to the attorneys that they're looking to take this out of chapter land and sell it to a developer who is going to be putting in a subdivision out on Southbridge Road. So some houses, but this is just a first review. We do have, under the statute, 120 days. I wanted to get it onto the agenda so that the board can be made aware of it, that they can review the documents, formulate any questions that you may have, or let me know, and we could, maybe put this on the next agenda for consideration.
The, assuming it's the same party, they came before the planning board as just throwing the idea out there maybe a year ago?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah.
Was it in Southbridge Road?
Yeah, that property.
Yeah.
That was with the cul-de-sac.
Yep.
Yeah, we talked about like
Like drainage.
parking and, yeah.
It wasn't really I think people get freaked out when they hear subdivision. I think they were larger houses with a good plot of land,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
it's
I mean, there were.
it's not a housing complex where you have 300 people stuck in
No, no.
buildings.
No, they had 12 houses.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, it seemed like a reasonable plan at the time, so I don't know what changed. And then at one point, it was possibly gonna be, the distillery, that's,
Yeah.
they were gonna go there, but that didn't work out, or something worked out better for them, so we're back to the subdivision. Do you have a comment?
As a planner, I think this is a good site to have, 12, 15 houses developed over there. It's an open space. It's just gonna add value there. They're planning on doing big houses. So
Yeah, they're nice houses.
It's nice income for the town too.
Okay. Do you wanna make a decision now? Are you comfortable?
Yeah,
I mean,
I have no
we don't
objections
have
to it.
any.
I think the
Use
site is
for the
too far
land.
away to have a safety
We have
complex.
we have no reason for the land.
It's too far away from the center of town to have a complex, building, safety complex building over there. I think it's better for housing.
Yeah, there's also, yeah.
Goes that area, and there are houses all over the place.
Hmm?
Public safety, you don't think it would be good for public safety?
It's, It's 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
I don't know how you think about that.
It's kind of out there.
It's kind of out there, it's
The other thing is
southeast.
then we gotta study that, and they gotta look at that, and then there's, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's the right, it's a big size for the
I think
safety
we-
complex, but it's not in the right location.
I think we have options already on hand,
I know, just throw it.
and I don't think we wanna complicate it anymore.
No,
Yeah,
I
but it's-
agree.
But if later someone asks you, did you look at that? Yes, we talked about it. That's what we're doing here. It's too far away.
Okay. All right,
I'm okay if we,
I'm fine too.
if we have it.
Well, I just need a motion then.
All right, I'll make a motion to, not exercise our right of first refusal for pursuant Mass General Law, Chapter 61, Section 8, 1212, for 1212 Southbridge Road, Warren, Mass.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Chad Hacker, aye, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, we will need your guys' signatures on the signature page. I didn't bring that because I didn't anticipate it, you know, getting approved tonight, so if you can stop in tomorrow.
Sure. Review with a possible vote to sign a memorandum of understanding between the town of Rutland and the Central Massachusetts Regional Emergency Communications Center.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So this is the MOU, Memorandum of Understanding between the towns in Rutland for continuing administrative services until the end of this year, June 30th of 2026. All the towns will be signing it. OPAM has already signed it. We're hoping we're going to sign it this evening.
So these are the original towns, right? that-
Correct. This is allowing Rutland to continue to be the host community, if you will, for until June 30th of 2026. So that, you know, they're providing the accounting services, they're providing the legal services, they're doing all the back of the house stuff, you know, for the dispatch center.
We put our town last on the thing.
I think it's
We were the
alphabetical.
original three.
It's alphabetical.
It is, yeah.
But so this eventually would be replaced by whatever facility that the district chooses, right? Okay, so this is sort of a temporary, okay. Any questions? Comments? Okay, so
Exciting,
take a motion.
moving forward.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve and sign the memorandum of understanding between the town of Rutland and Central Massachusetts Regional Emergency Communications Center.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Warrants and bills.
Shouldn't have too many this time.
These are us.
Thank you for making it so I can see it.
You blow it up.
Yeah, it's nice and big.
How big that is. Huge.
You can see it from here.
I know. He can read it. All right. I'll make a motion pay the following warrants. Payroll, 14-26 for $129,365.24. Accounts payable, 25-26 for $205,521.11.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye, motion carries.
Who spent $8 at Lowe's? And why?
We needed a plug or something, or no, a panel to go over a outlet,
An outlet cover?
yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to pay the following bills. Lowell's, $8.06. Sherwin-Williams, $1,419.44. Amazon for $22.44. WB Mason for $176.78. Warren Water District for $203.77. Comcast Business for $279.89. Stericycle for $140.07. Weston and Sampson Engineers, Inc. for $12,000. 360, building and remodeling for $11,183. C2MA Adam for $666.10. Warren West Brookfield Youth Football for $500, and Warren West Brookfield Youth Chair for $500.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. All right, meeting minutes from January 8th.
You already fixed your spelling error, right?
Yep. It's in here.
All right.
We will repeal that.
All right, make a motion to approve the minutes for 1/8/2026.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Town Administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm pleased to report to you this evening that the painting project on the second floor has been completed. The project looks fantastic, a very nice job. Also was done was some work with some carpentry with some of the doors. The doors on the second floor were warped and needed to be cut down and shaved down, taken off of their hinges because they weren't open in their entirety. They weren't closed properly, so that was addressed as well. There were several cracks in the walls that needed to be repaired. That was done. Some preventative caulking and maintenance was also done for the second floor. Really looks really well done, and we were very pleased with it. I know the gentleman is doing some work at the police station right now for some of the doors over there that the chief had identified that were not secure and proper, as well as some minor painting over there. So that project had wrapped up. We're very pleased with it. That's part of our maintenance budget that we have for maintaining the buildings. We are also working with the fire department. As reported, Station B had a hot water tank that went down. We're getting that fixed and repaired.
That was done today.
Done today, so okay, that was taken care of. So we're working through that. I attended the sewer commissioners meeting this week. Working with them on their budget, working with them on their chief operator on a few different initiatives that he has in store for the department. He's really transformed Scott Urban, our new chief operator over there. He's really done a lot of work in terms of cleaning out and cleaning up the place over there. We worked with him to get a rollout dumpster over there that was there for about a month. Emptied out a lot of old inoperable equipment, and we're able to make some strides over there. So we're keeping up with that. I'm pleased to report that all the fire inspections have been done. There were some updates to some of the batteries that needed to be done, as well as some of the lighting. We are working and starting on the duct project here with Ty and Bond. That has already started. Again, working with Tecton and H2M. So it's not the same company that is going to be potentially be doing the fire station A study. It's going to be H2M. They specialize in fire stations. And so they're going to be doing that. And again, if this takes off, and if the town decides that they want to do a full renovation or an addition onto Fire Station A, there will be a designer selection phase in that, and we will adopt the designer selection rule, and there will be a competitive process for that. This particular assessment, should this pass the board, would be under a 30B exemption. And we're pretty confident that this firm has got the experience to do this type of assessment. And so we're moving right along. Next week, myself and the chair are going to be at the MMA Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We hope to bring back some knowledge, and we hope that the insurance rates are going to end up on the lower side of the spectrum this year, although it doesn't appear that way, but we're hoping. And we did get a response, and it's under comments and concerns. We did get a response from the West Brookfield Town Administrator that you can review at your leisure. That was provided. And I am meeting next Tuesday with the Board of Assessors at 5:15. We were going to meet this week, however, our Zoom link had expired, and that was posted incorrectly. So we have a new Zoom link, new credentials, all put up there. Thank you, Griffin, for doing that. And we're going to hopefully have that meeting on Tuesday. And we're going to be discussing, one of the things that I'm going to be discussing with them is the assistant assessor position. So we're hopeful that something can be done with that position soon.
Okay. Any questions? All right. New business? Old business?
You know, at some point, we talked about cleaning and painting the underpass bridge, make it nicer, because a lot of people use it going underneath, and put in some solar lights for safety. Maybe we can either work towards something that could be possibly be done, or maybe a small article for highway or some other board that can do this. It's like the face of the town. It just, you know, you walk down there, it feels really spooky.
You know, there's a lot of communities, and I don't know if this would fit well, you know, for Warren, but there's a lot of communities where if it was put together and a committee was formed, you know, I don't know if there's a local artist in town, but you know, there's a lot of communities that are doing murals now, painting murals, and having some type of connection to the town. You know, you may want to consider something like that. You know, type of deal.
So what was the deal? We can paint the bridge, but we have
You
to
have to get permission.
permission.
Right.
We can't,
We can paint the metal parts,
yeah.
not the bridge. We could paint the steel,
Yeah.
but we
And-
have to acquire permission because they need to have one of their people there just in case if there's a train coming through,
Okay.
and then we're responsible for it.
And what about hanging stuff? If we wanted to do lights, how would we do lights? Can we put the,
Again, we would have to get some type of permission from CSX.
They said we can't drill. As long as we don't drill, and we can just clamp things on there,
yeah, okay.
and then we can't run electricity or anything. So you can't drill into the bridge, you can't do anything like that, and we have to let them know.
Okay.
And, because it's their bridge, it's their
Yeah,
property.
okay. So we could potentially do something with the bridge. We just have to,
Yeah.
you know, follow the rules.
Because we asked them that.
Yeah. I
Would you be
remember.
objection to us putting lighting under there, and they're like, well,
I mean, we could
you
start with.
can always
power-
request it, but as long as you're not drilling and running electrical or anything like, so if we did like solar lighting or something like that, we could do, or some way to there to get lighting, but we can't like actually permanently affix things to it.
We could start with power washing the walls and then looking at painting the metal. You know,
Well, the problem with that is the paint that's chipping is lead paint. And the lead paint has to be abated. Because that was looked into before, and the town looked into it previously to do this. And it was getting very costly, so I believe a resident took it upon himself to go up there with some paint and paint it himself.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And that's how it got painted the last time. But CSX has made it very clear, we don't paint bridges. We don't do that. So they're not gonna go around and paint the bridge for us because we asked it very direct to them. And they're like, we're not gonna paint the bridge. It's made, and when we talked about the pillars, how they're rusting out in the bottom, they said, well, it was designed for a capacity of double of what we get now. So now when it's being used, it's only one train that's really going over it, and it exceeds the capacity of that one train, and those pillars, they don't even need them. And they're purely visual. They don't really do anything for the structure of the train, but they did come and they put in concrete around the bottom bases to close up the bases. So there is that.
Which isn't good, because when you
But the
have
problem-
rusted metal and concrete.
Well, and the other problem is people are throwing trash inside the spaces in there. And I'll tell you right now, when I went through and I cleaned it, because me and Mr. Farrar went through and we cleaned that whole area with trash bags and stuff for the clean day, and I found a significant amount of nip bottles inside that there, and I even found one syringe.
How about the
that
poop
was in
bags?
there. So,
Little bags of poop?
oh yeah, there's lots of bags of poop.
Yeah.
There was bags of poop
Nice.
hanging from the trees and stuff over there, and that's from people's animals. Instead of throwing them away, they were just throwing them in the woods.
Hey, it reminds me though, we could use a new sign for the height. It's not really legible that well, you guys haven't noticed it, but I don't know if the town does that or the state.
That's probably
That
CSX.
is, no.
Well, they need to post probably what their height is, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
What was the guy's name? Is it Maurice?
Yeah, it was Maurice O'Connor,
Yeah.
O'Connell, I think.
So something like that, I would let him know that, maybe take a photo and.
It's not legible at all, yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
A motorhome was trying to go underneath there, he was like crawling like, a mile an hour, because I don't think you could tell.
Yeah, okay, that's an important one. Is that-
So we, in the
damage?
past year, we've only had, what, a couple vehicles get stuck under there? What was the last one?
The last couple of years, I think there's been.
Usually everyone, someone checks us every now and then, a trail truck tries to go under there.
It's been a while. Alright, so I mean, we could do a committee to come up with some ideas and maybe they can approach CSX and say.
We already have a committee. You have the Warren Decoration Committee.
Sure,
That would be the same thing.
okay.
We already have a committee for it.
I mean, there's also the rural improvement is another one that could do it too. Alright.
On old business still, the highway department, did they get that money yet?
No, not that I'm aware of, no.
Where are they with the project?
The last I talked to Jeremy, he had to go and get with Dawn, the treasurer, to get some check numbers. He needs to import that information into the portal. And then once it's imported in the portal, DOT can review it, and, either approve it or not approve it. And then, once it's approved by DOT, I can go to, the Department of Revenue to ask them to recertify the free cash number.
So, this gotta be a priority at some point. It's, what, 300,000?
$315.
$315,000 that we still don't have certified in free cash because of slow process on our side.
Okay, correspondence, we have a bridge report.
Pulaski Street. It is not looking good.
Superstructure, we got a 3. What is the?
10?
think, no, it goes up to, well, it goes from 0 to 9, so call it a 4 out of 10.
That's the bridge, we have the
But-
partial collapse of the road in.
3 is serious. This is one of them that's got the grant, though. This is gonna be
Right.
replaced pretty soon.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's in rotten shape, and we're gonna replace it, so I think that's pretty much where we're at.
Well overdue.
Yeah,
Those railings are very dangerous.
yeah. Was it wasn't an action grant, right? It was something else.
No, the state, I think the state themselves were going to do the replacement. It wasn't a grant.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's their bridge, they're the ones that inspected it,
Yeah, okay.
so. But it's been years
Yeah.
on that one. And that was a question of whether large commercial vehicles can drive into the mill complex through that way
Yeah.
because of that bridge.
All right, what else do we have? A letter from National Grid, where is that? Just some programs, cost-saving programs.
Yeah, if you have the EV chargers and you can get EV chargers and stuff, help with
Right.
that.
We post this on the website, right? A letter like this, people can take a look at.
Be nice to get a letter from them saying that they're gonna lower the electric bills.
Yeah, right. All right, letter from West Brookfield, just to summarize, basically, they're not really interested in meeting with us, and they are, I mean, they understand what they have as a challenging situation. They didn't present anything contrary to basically that, so we don't know what they're gonna be doing, and, you know, they're gonna rely on us. So I think, again, if we have statistics as to what the mutual aid looks like, then we have a better way to make a decision. So that's,
So just in the last few days, we've modified this a little bit again, where they have had some responses during the day. So similar to what New Braintree and Hardwick do, they are now just going to tone out West Brookfield Fire. If they do not get a response, the second tone will be to Warren and Brookfield. So it's not an automatic tone to us at this point, so we're stepping it down a little bit because they've had a couple members come on. So we're hoping that will, you know, so basically we're gonna go, if they told us and they need us, we'll go, but we're not automatically going.
okay, all right, well, that's a
There you
step
go.
in the right direction. All right.
Track that, can I comment?
Yeah.
So on this, have you talked to the town administrator?
No
Just received the letter.
Just received the
So you get no communication other than a letter basically saying, yeah, we don't wanna talk to you. So
Right.
great cooperation with that, and I think we need to review the mutual aid agreement on how we respond to their town and what it entails, and look at that. Because again, I got a feeling if they don't step up what they need to do in their town, we're gonna be pulling up the slack for an unknown amount of time, because they still haven't told us how long they're gonna be doing this. They're just working on it.
Do we get a list of attendees? Oh, yeah, we get a list of attendees to the MMA right on the phone. We'll see if anybody from West Brookfield's go. Maybe we can corner somebody
I
at
think that's the last time I saw Teresa was there, last year.
Okay.
Remember yeah.
Yeah, that's good, all right.
So you have zero communication with the town right next to us.
Yeah, but we'll see if they're at the MMA, we'll corner them and ask them what's
Are you
going
kidding
on.
me?
All right, comments and concerns. Any comments and concerns?
Oh, I got a few comments.
Besides-
No, Mr. Farrar had a few things. They're also doing an event at the library Saturday,
Yep,
the 150th year.
from 4 to 7, right?
So I hope people get to check it out and
Show it.
show up, and then also doing, you didn't touch on the Knox Trail thing.
Yeah,
So the
I'll
Knox
be there
Trail.
for that.
So That's on Saturday also.
At the Springfield Armory.
Yeah.
Okay, what times?
That starts earlier, I mean, there's a whole day of it, but we're going at 1 o'clock. The town is getting recognized as a Knox Trail town, so we're gonna be there. They made a big banner, and I wanna thank Sylvia Buck for working with the Springfield Armory Superintendent, for making the banner, and hopefully we get to take the banner home, and we'll have it in our historical room.
So the Knox Trail is General Knox took the cannons from Fort Ticonderoga in New York, right, through the snow to Boston,
Yeah.
right? Telling the revolution. So it's pretty cool. Came right through Warren, right?
Yes.
I don't know exactly where, Route 20? Not Route 20, but Boston Post Road.
And there's a Knox Trail Road in town. I don't know if it's
Maybe that was part of it.
part of it.
Things have changed a little bit.
There's a Knox Trail in the town of East Otis, Massachusetts.
Okay. Any other comments?
I have a bunch, but I don't know if you have a comment regarding the Knox.
Or you want to do, you're gonna do comments anyway? No. Okay, save it for that.
Okay, I have a few. I mentioned before at one of the planning board meetings, there was a comment about asking about parking lines. And since we have all this social media policy and everything, I want to ask permission to the board to address the question, saying that that's private property, we don't have anything. The next one, a resident approached me and asked about shops containers, sharps containers. Is that something we do a day for that?
So they can drop them off at fire department or the board of health.
Any
Board of
day,
Health has programs.
any day?
Yeah, yes, as long as they're open. I mean, obviously, we can't predict where we're out, so I would suggest the board of health, but we will also get rid of them, but they have to be in an approved sharps container. That's the important part. We've had people show up with them in milk jugs, and we cannot take them. They have to be in
So
approved.
they will show up like this?
Yeah. So they have to be in an approved sharps container and sealed. So that is the, any of the sharps containers you can get at CVS for your primary care doctors and stuff, but they can't be a milk jug or a plastic shoebox or anything like that, because they're not safe. It's not safe to take them anyways. So, but we'll be more than happy to help out if we can. But the Board of Health has a full program up there. There's actually brochures. I was there the other day. They have them right there to explain what they can do for you.
That's very good. I don't want to be in a pain, but in Quaybrook Street and Main Street,
Buses don't do the full stop over there in the morning and in the afternoon. They go like racing over there. They show up on Quaybrook, they look that nobody's coming, and they just keep going.
School buses?
School buses.
School buses aren't stopping?
Is that something? That's Rezap, right?
Yeah.
So I think we just called them, right?
I don't know. I feel, I see them doing it, and it's like, you're supposed to do a full stop at that corner.
Can I tangent off of that? Because the speed sign on Route
Main Street?
67 coming from West Brookfield, I think is dead.
Yeah, the battery's got, I think the battery's probably,
Okay.
Pat's gonna take the batteries out tomorrow, see if they charge,
Okay.
which I'm guessing I'm gonna have to buy new batteries for it, because it's,
Very disappointed. I was like,
I can't.
doing the speed limit. I wasn't getting any credit for it.
Those have to be 4 or 5 years old now, I'm sure there's a lifespan on those.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And my last one is, a year ago, Chief, you had a cone in front of the police station, right on the crosswalk.
Or that sign that says,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
yeah.
pedestrian
Yeah,
walking.
pedestrian.
yep,
I think that helped a lot because people drive too fast over there, so sometimes it's hard to pull in and go left or right.
I think last time we had someone drag to West Brookfield, didn't they?
It has something to do with plowing this time of year too.
Yes.
The problem with that sign too is it caused a problem for the school buses.
Oh, that's what, yeah, they.
Because the school buses had to turn to go down there to the high school, and it was very hard for them to get out, and they really can't just jump out of the school bus, walk over, move that
I've been trying to get,
cone over
I
there.
don't know if you've seen those some towns have them where you press a button and it flashes. We're trying to get the
That
DA's
would be
office
nice.
to fund some for us.
Yeah,
Ben said yes or no yet.
Okay.
just trying to prevent. That's it, sir.
Okay.
One more to top off, you mentioned the school buses. There was somebody complaining on Facebook about, a brown SUV that keeps
Yeah.
on.
We know about it. There's gonna be a guy there tomorrow.
Okay, because she was very upset because she said she called the police department, she didn't get any help. She was concerned about it, she's getting tired of people blowing past.
Yeah, that's one of the
School
ones,
buses.
obviously when we're there, no one does anything, but we can't be there every day, 24 hours a day. So, when we can, they're there, like I said, one day guys is gonna try and be there tomorrow.
Now, if the school bus driver gets a license plate from somebody that drives by,
That would be very helpful.
so if a school bus driver gets a license plate number of a vehicle that drives by, or at least a really good description of the vehicle and where it came from, that would be helpful for the police to be able to investigate that.
And that's one of those bands that we've been having problems with. They're not, I hate those, it's not a Lee Zach van, because Lee Zach's vans are very well, he takes pride in his thing, his stuff, they are all lighted very well. And this is one of those ones that has the, looks like they're from 1920s, big little red lights on the top, and I hate those vans.
All right, comments and concerns from the public. Joe?
Joe Conrad, resident. Well, as you mentioned, is the Knox Trail. Colonel Henry Knox, in late December 1775, left Ticonderoga, New York, with 60 tons of heavy artillery and munitions on ox-drawn sleds bound for Cambridge. Colonel Knox made an encampment here in Warren near mile marker 73, January 17th, 1776. He had 125 teams of oxen with him and over 200 men. Now, mile marker 73 is 60 Bay Pass Road. So that big field that's near the last house, you can just imagine bringing the sleds in, probably having to find a barn for his oxen, maybe have his men sleep up in the loft, and they had an encampment there along the entire 300 odd miles. That is the only place where the men who camped there piled stones to mark the spot where the center of the encampment was. I'm assuming it's near, like, the back wall of the field, because I personally haven't seen a significant pile of stones. But it's something. From there, they followed the old Boston Post Road, which would end up Route 67 and Washington Street. There's a marker there where Colonel Knox came through. I believe the next possible place where they might have had an encampment would be in Brookfield, probably in the area near the cemetery. Just food for thought that we are basically a historical town that much of the history came through here. I'm sorry I couldn't make copies of these because my printer ran out. But you gentlemen can share that.
You're gonna take a picture?
Sure.
They're gonna have a copy.
Thank you, Joe.
It's one of those things that you have to think about how historical this town is, and so few people know about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else?
to make a correction. I was watching part of the meeting from last week, and Tim, who was a tenant up at the housing, where I was also, made a comment about the dog officer, and if the dog officer had anything to do with the housing, if it was needed up there, could he be called to go up to the housing, and if the housing is a part of the town where the dog officer would be needed. And he was told yes. And then he made the comment, because we have the board members up there. I am a board member. I am the treasurer of the board member of Winthrop Terrace Housing Authority. So I'd just like to make a correction about that statement that Tim made, that we had no board members. We had board members resign. I was left standing and remained a board member when the others left. But we have new board members now also. So I just want to make that correction.
Okay. May I say something? Thank you for standing up, for keeping there. And this board is open. If you need help, come over here and express your needs.
I appreciate that very much, and I know right now we're looking for a new executive director, which may be a little confusing to some of the people as meeting new board members, but we're working on that also. But I thank you for your offer and your help. And for Mr. Ferrara for all his kindness also, not only for the senior center, but also a serious conversation I had with him about a year ago that I needed some advice about, and he guided me very well. I want to just offer my appreciation. And Adam, I can't leave you out because God bless you. I've helped raise my grandchildren since they were 8 weeks old. And my grandson was one, I'm sorry to take up your time.
Don't worry.
He was one huge fireman fan of the fire department. So every time we drive by the fire department, man, we have to stop, we have to stop. God bless Adam. He brought us in there, gave my grandchildren a little gift, and showed them different parts of the fire trucks and the ambulance. And I was always afraid of an ambulance. Believe me, I didn't want to go near an ambulance ever. But he made it very comfortable for all of us, and I can't thank you enough, Adam, as well as you gentlemen. Thank you.
What grade is your grandson?
My grandson now graduated from high school last year. He works at Lamoureux Ford full-time. He's a car lover.
All right, anybody else? Go ahead. Tim?
Not last meeting, but the one before, I mentioned this, it still isn't on the website for some reason. Can you guys,
What
the replay, Selectmen's meeting?
From?
Not the last week, but the one before that?
Okay,
What
that's
date?
gonna be Travis.
I asked and he said he forgot, but he still isn't up
I
there.
think one just got posted. I just seen one
I checked
post.
it this morning, it wasn't up, but anyway.
Okay.
But you guys can, you know, whatever, I don't know if that was.
Does Travis want to answer that? Here he comes. Yeah. He's coming. He's the man to ask.
I did ask.
Sorry, so that one, because that meeting went on long, so the video comes in like 3 sections, it has to get put together, compiled and uploaded. It takes a while for the program to do it, and I have to be able to sit in front of the computer to do it, and right now I'm doing 60-hour weeks at work, I do full-time school, and I'm doing this, so I only get so much time in my life to sit in front of the computer and watch it.
Yeah, whenever you get to it.
I'm trying to get it up. The other videos, because they're shorter meetings, they're easier to upload because it's one small file.
Okay.
So,
Question for both. Are we talking about YouTube or Facebook?
I look it up on the town website, under the YouTube.
Two different things.
yeah, so I think like because YouTube, those are the ones I'm behind uploading. Facebook, we started this week. We started a couple last week, but this week we've been getting everything streaming and going out live from here. So
Because I see we're live today.
Yeah.
Then we have Cemetery Commission on the 13th, Planning Board on the 12th, Board of Selectmen 6 days ago.
Yeah, this meeting before that, we hadn't, we weren't able to set up the live yet. We're
That's
still
fine.
working on it.
Great, thank you.
Eventually will come up.
Thank you very much, Travis.
Thanks. The other thing I wanted to do a little networking promoting, we do, as the young lady over there said, we need a director. I think this is our 5th one in less than 2 years, so it must be a bit of a problem. But anyway, it's like a 4-day week, and it pays close to $80,000 a year, so if anybody out there listening is in need of a good job, but maybe a tough one, but a good one. And we also have some empty apartments still up there. So if anybody in town or surrounding town would like to come live in paradise, that would be, wonderful.
Is that stuff we can post on our site?
Sure.
Could I just say, the job for the executive director has to be posted for 2 weeks. And I believe, I'm not sure who does that, it's not my job, but, before they can hire somebody, it will be done.
That would be the board, your
Because
board.
we have an interim director right now,
Okay.
and, I'm not sure, I haven't been told that, we do have a gentleman that's helping us to seek out people who would be interested in taking the job. So once we get those people, like we did last year, we had hired somebody, but it just wasn't her job, her type of a job. So that's why she left. And we are seeking this gentleman again to help us find people who would be interested in taking the job. And once he does that, we will have a meeting, and then we'll be able to interview people as they come in, and then we'll be able to vote. So that is how this works.
Okay.
Was that the same consultant from last year?
The what?
The same gentleman from last year?
Yes.
Okay. And last point, I don't know if anybody they didn't talk about this at the town meeting. I don't know if anybody discussed it in that meeting, that's why I was asking. Where are we at with this heating system for this building?
So, as I mentioned before in my brief report, the ductwork project is started, it has started, with our engineer firm, Ty and Bond. So they're doing an assessment of the ductwork, they're gonna be doing construction documents, and getting a package ready so that the town can essentially go out to bid. There's nothing wrong with the heating system here.
The ductwork.
The ductwork is the one that
And what have we
is-
spent so far on the pump?
On what?
What's the cost of the unit they put in?
The unit was a grant
Right.
that I received from the state, and that was of about $180,000, about.
And what is the estimate? I think you said it'd be like another 100 or so or more for the...
I don't know, we're gonna have to go out to bid, but, they're gonna give us an estimate as to, potentially what, the ductwork will entail, yeah.
But it could be 50, 100, I think you mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a significant amount.
So we're talking $250,000, right?
Sure.
Or more.
Sure.
Can I ask, where in the real world would anybody spend $250,000, $250,000, $300,000 on a building that's valued at $210,000? Does that make any sense?
So we got the grant was for the actual unit, so we didn't pay
Right.
for the unit.
I
The
understand.
ductwork will have to be repaired, we have to maintain the.
But who would make that kind of investment in the private sector or the real world? This building's valued at $207,000.
Well, I don't think you would be able to get this building for $207
That's
in
what the
today's
value is. I
standards.
checked with the clerk's office.
Well, I mean, that may be the assessed value, I don't know, but a value of this is far greater value.
I'm just going by
than
what they said. I mean, doesn't that seem a
than
little illogical though? And in one of the meetings, when they had the committee, they had alternative heating units discussed that was covered by grants. They would have been installed and done with it in a day or two. and it would have been a fraction of what this is gonna cost.
I'm not familiar with that meaning.
I mean, we still have the problem with the ducts though, no matter what.
You didn't need that word for the alternative units that was brought up in that meeting.
Mini splits?
Yeah. Would have been a fraction.
I don't know that mini splits, you'd need a lot of mini splits to do this.
Mini
Yeah.
splits wouldn't be covered under the grant number one.
Yes, it was, they said it was. I'm just telling you what they said in that meeting. Many would have
I don't know
been
if they
done
said
in a
that.
day or two, and as efficient, if not more, they said, so. I'm just throwing it out there for future reference.
So these buildings cost a lot of money, a lot of money to go into them. And, you know, we have to pay prevailing wage, to do that. And as you know, everything in government, you know, whether it's state or local, because of all the bureaucracy that goes through, it's gonna cost you 3-4 times that you would pay in a civilian market. So when people say, well, I could have gotten that done in my house, that's great for you in your house, but when it comes to a public building, or a town or a state building, it's gonna be triple, quadruple the price that you would have paid for your house. So,
The $500.
believe me, we don't wanna pay it either, but that's the laws.
That was the $500 toilet a few years ago, but remember 4 years ago?
All right,
That's it.
our next meeting, January 29th, 2026 at 6 PM.
I thought other people had comments.
Oh, I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, when was the last
Can
one?
I just add to that one? As a former architect, I can tell you that a lot of the things that we do here are good to any Massachusetts standards for the Massachusetts code. If I see something going the wrong way, I'm gonna be the first one to raise a flag. Everything technically, I can assure you that we've been doing the best for the town.
I'm not saying, I've never said you guys aren't, but sometimes I think maybe people should listen to everybody. I remember those comments were made, it should have been considered, and I know you can't look at everything, you know, you open up a wall like Dave says, there could be anything in there, I understand all that. But that's a lot of frickin' money, you know? And for a town, or anybody, who would wanna spend more than they have to? It just doesn't make sense, not when there are alternatives, you know? But they don't look at it, they don't listen, they just get, you know, it's like a one-track mind thing. It doesn't hurt to listen to everybody, you know, that's how you learn, right? What's the old saying, two heads are better than one?
I believe that we've been listening to everybody who comes here, and, you know, I can assure you, if there's something in my knowledge that is not appropriate, I will raise a flag so we can look at something else.
Okay. Now, I'm just putting it out, you don't have to, you know, it's just a thought, that's all.
Thank you, Tim, for your comments. Thank you, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
You made the motion
You
yet.
gotta make a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Okay, second.
Second, all in favor?
Thank you, Dufresne. Aye.
John Hacker, aye, we are adjourned.